Hello and welcome to another episode of Astres and Stars. In this series dedicated to my Messier challenge, today we're taking a look at M92, a beautiful globular cluster located in the constellation of Hercules. I've decided to simplify my presentation for the Messier challenge. From now on, I'll focus on a few essential elements, a short introduction to the target, the challenges it represents, image acquisition, processing, lessons learned, and of course, the conclusion. In order not to miss anything regarding the challenge, don't forget to subscribe. With its extremely dense core and thousands of stars packed into a relatively small region of the sky, M92 is an excellent exercise for learning how to photograph this type of object. So let's take a look at what makes M92 interesting and what I learned from this acquisition. M92 is a globular cluster located in the constellation of Hercules. It is located approximately 27,000 light years from Earth, and its actual diameter is about 100 light years. Unlike open clusters, such as M29, which we looked at in a previous episode, globular clusters contain a very large number of stars packed into a much more compact structure. M92 is also extremely old. Its age is estimated to be around 13 to 14 billion years, meaning that its stars formed almost as long ago as the universe itself. M92 was discovered in 1777 by Johann Elbert Bode and was later independently observed by Charles Messier in 1781, who added it to his famous catalog. M92 is particularly interesting for astrophotography because it presents a very different challenge from that of an open cluster. Here, the goal is to reveal the very large number of stars in the core of the cluster while preventing this extremely dense region from becoming nothing more than a white blob. So M92 is an excellent exercise in learning how to control the dynamic range of an image. The brightest stars can become saturated very quickly, while the fainter stars in the core are much harder to separate. The challenge is therefore to find a balance between the different levels of brightness in order to preserve as much detail as possible. For this image, I used my Celestron 8SE equipped with a dew shield and mounted on an HEQ5 mount. The camera was an ASI 533 MC with a Svbony UHC filter. I captured 32-minute exposures for a total integration time of 1 hour. Here is the result of stacking the raw images before processing. The processing of M92 was a little different from some of my other targets. For this image, I decided to work only with my light frames without calibrating using darks, biases, or flats. I then processed the image using Siril, GraXpert, and GIMP. The main goal was to bring out the faint stars while preserving the details in the extremely dense central region of the cluster. I tried to preserve the spectacular concentration of stars in the core of M92 while gradually bringing out the stars extending farther away from the center. The processing techniques are explained in greater detail in my video dedicated to image calibration and processing. I'm currently working on a new processing workflow for globular clusters, and I plan to present it to you as soon as it is sufficiently refined. One thing I particularly noticed with this acquisition was the color of the stars. With my 120-second exposures, the colors seem less rich to me than those I obtained with M29, where the red, blue, and the yellow stars were much easier to distinguish. The longer exposures and the filter probably contributed to this difference. This is something I would like to test during a future M92 imaging session. For a globular cluster, I would probably favor an acquisition without a filter and with shorter exposures in order to preserve more light and the natural colors of the stars. M92 is still a relatively accessible target with amateur equipment. Even under a light polluted sky, its relatively high brightness makes it possible to obtain very good results. Here is the complete data sheet for this imaging session. You'll find the main characteristic of the object, the acquisition settings, the equipment used, as well as useful information if you'd like to photograph it yourself. I intend to keep this sheet updated and add new versions to the video description below if I revisit this object. I hope you enjoyed this look at M92. Even though I think I can improve this image during a future session, particularly with shorter exposures and probably without a filter, this acquisition has mainly helped me better understand the challenges involved in photographing this type of object. If you enjoy following the Messier challenge, feel free to leave a comment and subscribe to follow the progress of the project. You can also suggest the next object you would like to see in this series. I can't promise anything, but you never know. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you very soon for another object in the Messier challenge. Until then, I wish you clear skies.